continue to work on our quality measures, trying to work on some of our throughput. I am very excited about the Royal Valley Physical Therapy thing. I think it's going to be really good for our patients. It's going to make the experience significantly better. They do a fantastic job at Royal Valley. They have a pool so they can do aquatic therapy. It's something that we're not currently able to offer, so we'll be able to offer that through them at that location. And I've talked about the ER timeliness with you on the morning drill. Really proud of that. Really excited about bringing our times down, getting people in and out faster. We do have a new ER medical director, Dr. Newhook. Our former medical director retired. He had been here, I think, over 30 years, Dr. D'Alessandro. So Dr. Lawrence Newhook is our new ER physician medical director. He's come to us with about 15 or 17 years experience in the Meadville Medical Center ER. So he's a very well-known physician. A lot of great experience there. He's going to come here, and he's already doing some great things.
Lee Clinton from the Titusville Area Hospital, and we welcome Lee Clinton and Holli Wolfe this morning from Titusville Area Hospital, and that was from the ribbon cutting just a couple weeks ago. That's hard to believe. It's been, almost 2 weeks ago. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Great.
Welcome. Boy, a lot of good information in there. That quick snippet addressing new partnership and also the ER times, which we've talked about in the past. So let's kind of touch upon all these things, and let's go back to the actual ribbon cutting a couple weeks ago. Nice size crowd on hand for that event.
Yeah, we were very pleased with the outcome of that. Lots of people showed up, and that was our goal is to get people in and see our new lobby, and I think it turned out really well.
Now, Lee, am I wrong in saying that you worked on that yourself?
Yeah, you would be wrong in saying that. Yes. Yeah, all the credit goes to Holli. She did a great job getting people there. We were really fortunate that, the school district allowed us to kind of tap into their text, email blasting system, and they kind of helped promote that for us, and as well as the Chamber of Commerce. So I think it took a lot of people, but if we're giving credit to somebody.
Thanks, Lee.
Well, you had a lot of
stayed up all night for it. I'm sure.
Did, yes.
You had a lot of community people that showed up and took part. What were their impressions of seeing the lobby?
We've had some really, really good comments. I mean, everybody that comes through the lobby, they're very impressed and very happy with the way it turned out. I get, volunteers sit there daily, and they call me all the time, just saying, how happy everyone is, with the way it turned out. So,
and it's kind of silly to think, renovating a lobby, how's that important?
Yeah.
But it changes the entire mindset when you walk in there, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's, the first impression when you walk in, so it does.
Yeah, and we talked about that at the ribbon cutting. It's probably the highest trafficked location in the hospital. We have 25 to 30,000 people to walk through those doors annually, so it touches a lot of people. It creates a first impression for a lot of people, and we felt like that was a good place to start.
And did the doors get updated at all? You talk about 25,000 people through there. You must have some hefty hinges on those doors.
You don't have to answer that.
Yeah. Yes and no. We changed some doors, but one of the things that's happening in healthcare these days, and you've probably seen this, is people are getting bigger. And so you see the wheelchairs are getting bigger, wheelchairs are getting wider. Wheelchairs don't fit through your traditional standard 36-inch door the way that they used to, because they're getting so big. So as part of the renovation, we did put in some extra wide doors to accommodate some of the extra wide wheelchairs.
Those are just things that everyday folks don't think about. When you go to the hospital, you just assume that stuff is going to be in place, and I suppose I was kidding about you staying up all night to think about these things, but I imagine it's not uncommon to lose a little bit of sleep over those details.
Yeah.
So that's the ribbon cutting. Some announcements were made there. Talk about the partnership with physical therapy.
What are you talking about?
Sure. So, historically, we have had outpatient physical therapy and inpatient physical therapy offered at the hospital, at the physical location in the hospital. we're going to continue to offer inpatient physical therapy to our patients on the med-surg unit, our inpatients. But our outpatient physical therapy was located in a really not ideal geographic location within the hospital. It's actually on the second floor, so you had to traverse your way in through the lobby after parking, go up the elevator to the second floor, walk through the med-surg unit, which is really kind of awkward, because if you ever walk through an inpatient unit, there are doors open, you look over and you see patients in gowns laying in beds, and it's really it's just really weird to send a group of ambulatory outpatients to a physical therapy department through the inpatient wing. It just didn't. It never felt right to me. And so we started looking at ways that we could maybe do it a little bit differently. And Oil Valley Physical Therapy, located here on Central Street, they have a really nice location for an outpatient physical therapy. They have a pool, so they offer aquatic therapy, something that we don't offer because we don't have a pool. And we ended up coming to an agreement where we would partner to move our outpatient physical therapy down there, and we would kind of join that outpatient business together. So instead of both companies kind of both trying to operate out of one physical location, we're kind of mixing it all together. There's a lot of physical therapy providers in town. Probably too many for the market. I mean, I think there's 5 or 6 outpatient physical therapy providers in this community. So it kind of waters down the market. So Oil Valley, I believe, had the biggest market share, and so we also thought that made good sense to partner with them. So we're really excited. It's going to make our patients have a significantly better, easier experience with physical therapy.
You're coming off of your first full year at the hospital. Looking back, what are some of the items that you can look back on and say, yeah, we got this done in under a year, and this is wonderful. Probably like this, where you're able to walk through the hospital and say, I can do something about this and make that change. Mm-hmm. Are there other things like that you look back on and say, yeah, we've accomplished quite a bit in a year or less?
We have. Just a couple of things that I mentioned at the ribbon cutting. Really proud of some of our quality initiatives and quality scores that we've achieved over this last year. 5-star for the Medicare Beneficiary Quality Improvement Program, which is a Medicare quality rating. Highmark Quality Blue, which is also a quality program that Highmark does surrounding the inpatient care. We got the highest score that you can get, where the year prior to my arrival, we scored like a 72 or 74%. So you call that a C. And then this last year, we actually got bonus points and got an A+.
Nice.
So we were over 100%. So a lot of work went involved in that, and it's all for the benefit of our patients. And then we've done a lot with the surgical program. One thing that's going to be happening here, and this will kind of be probably news, is we're having some change with our orthopedic program, and our long-term plan and our short-term plan is to get a provider from Orthopedic Associates of Meadville here in Titusville on a consistent basis and eventually a full-time basis, so that we'll be able to provide, because they've got a great reputation, provide great quality care, and we think we can elevate our orthopedic surgical program by partnering with them.
I can think of a handful of people already that say they go over to Meadville for those services.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's some big news.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Well, Holly, when you hear stories like that and you start to see these successes, I know you have to have a smile on your face, because these are wonderful things to be promoting.
It is, yeah. It's all good PR. We love to put all that out there. We've had lots of press releases out in the last couple months since I started, and that's my goal is to get that information out, and it seems to be being well received in the community, and it seems like we're getting lots of patients in our doors, so it's a good thing.
8:53, this is the Morning Drill on Stream Television, Armstrong and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. And I would imagine the support from Meadville in your role, Holly, has been great, especially when you have stories like this. It's like, get it out, get it out.
Yeah, no, it's, it's great. And, it seems like when we can get that news out, especially a couple years ago, it just seemed like everyone thought the hospital was going to close. There's some issues there financially, and making that turn, and bringing these good things back, and getting our ER times down, and it's like we're listening to what the patients are saying in their patient satisfaction surveys, and we're trying to make those changes, and it's getting the community to trust us again, and to want to come to Titusville Hospital, and I definitely think it's working.
Lee, for you, are you looking at this and saying, I don't want to just lower these times in the ER, but we got to drastically do something. We're going to make an impact here. It seems like you're the driving force behind that, right? Let's not just improve it a little. If we're going to do something, let's make it great.
Well, I don't know that I would say I'm the driving force, but I'm a numbers guy. I'm a data-driven guy. I'm from Missouri, so it's the show me state, right? So I always want people to show me. And so I like being able to see, here's where we were in terms of our times, here's how we compared to the benchmark and our peers, and then I like to see that come in line. So, really the work has happened with the clinicians in the ER. We've had a lot of changes in the ER, and we have a new medical director, Dr. Newhook, who comes to us with I think 15 or 17 years experience working in the Meadville Medical Center ER. So he's a known entity. People really thought highly of him there, thought he would be a great fit for our ER medical director since our previous director retired. So he's doing a great job. We have a new ER nurse manager, Kim Combs, who's really taken the bull by the horns and embraced this culture of change and trying to make improvements so that we make things better for the patients. And our goal is to aesthetically improve the ER. So we're starting a capital campaign with the foundation, or we will be here in the next couple of months, with the goal of raising some funds so that we can renovate the ER to make it an aesthetically better.
And I think you also mentioned that with the foundation, coming back in full swing.
Mm-hmm.
So what all is involved to kind of bring that back and going again?
The foundation?
Yeah.
Well, we've had our second board meeting now, so, it's getting the people back involved, and, we're looking at the capital campaign for the ER, so we're planning for that, and we're hoping to have a day of giving, which will be pretty exciting because Crawford County has never really had that. So we're going to look towards doing something along those lines and do some planned giving, things like that. So. Yeah.
Very nice. Sorry, Mark. I think I keep you interrupting.
That's okay. I was going to say it must be very neat. I hear both of you talking about these accomplishments, the things that you get to do at this point. It must be a real sense of accomplishment, a real sense of relief, perhaps a sense of happiness that there's so much good coming out of and to the hospital at this point. Do you see any major improvements coming along? But you're already doing that. Mm-hmm. I guess, is there anything kind of far out in the horizon that you'd like to eventually, touch on and make better?
Oh, I have a list a mile long. The lobby was the first thing that got renovated. Just from a physical perspective, we could give you a laundry list of services, but the whole place really could use some freshening up. So right now, we did the lobby. Our next plan is the ER. I would love to change the oncology and chemo infusion area and make that nicer.
These are all in phases, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's difficult to talk about these, I'm sure, because so many people would like to see all these things all at once. But
Right.
the lobby was a great start. Probably the best thing about that is you're right. It's the first thing people see, and people understand that change is taking place when they see something physical like that, when they can lay eyes on it or touch it or something like that. And I know that when I was over there to cover that was a lot of the reaction that I got too.
Yeah.
A sign that so many good things are on their way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Coming into the fall months, obviously the foundation, it looks like you're, again, getting ready for this campaign. But what are some other things that will be coming up with the hospital?
We're assisting with the Tinesta, it's a Lions Club, the Tinesta Lions Club Health Fair. So that'll be in September, Wednesday the 20th. So that'll be, a nice thing for the community. Of course, all the surrounding areas are invited as well, but we're going to be doing some free screenings and blood pressures and doing blood work, doing flu shots, things like that. So that's something that'll be coming up in September. So we look forward to helping them in that community.
All right, guys, fast segment. Go ahead, Lee.
One more plug. We with the school this year for sports physicals, we told them anybody that would come and get a sports physical at Oak Street Pediatrics, June, July, or August, it's $20. We collect the $20. We donate 100% of the profits, the proceeds, not the profits, all of it, back to the school. So we got 2 weeks before the end of August and kind of before school starts. So just wanted to mention that we're doing that, and all the proceeds go back to the school.
That's wonderful. That's great. And then, so 2 weeks, do it, and we'll see what you guys give to the school district.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
Definitely.
Thanks, guys, for your community support. And if folks have questions or want more information, Holly, how do they get a hold of you?
They could call me directly at 827-8717, or they could email me hwolfe at titusvillehospital.org.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Mark,
you.
what'd you learn today?
I'm truly thankful for such a good community hospital in the area. So many communities do not have something like that they can point to and keep as their own. And I think what I learned is there's a lot of people that are dedicated to making it better and better.
Lee, how about you? What'd you learn today?
Oh, not necessarily today, but I think there's a lot of exciting things happening in Titusville. Coming off the Oil Fest and just the things, and this is such a great avenue to celebrate those successes. So I want to thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you. Holly, what'd you learn?
I learned the same thing we did.
That's a rough part about being the last guest on this segment, asking what you learned today. Have a wonderful Wednesday, guys. Thanks for being here, and we'll see everybody back here tomorrow for Daybreak News and the Morning Drill.